And we're back. It's time to finish up Unit 4, Assignment 1. This is Part 2 of Unit 4, Assignment 1. This gets a little crazy because we got to open up a couple different files here. We're going to start by opening the one we did in the first video for Unit 4, Assignment 1, which was the one called Hello by Variables. And remember, we added those variables, which are things that can change. Okay. The next thing I want you to do is party on back to Unit 3. And I want you to open Hello by Functions assignment. Not Hello by Functions, but the assignment. Because what we need to do now is we need to add the code for world. So we're going to pick up this draw new line all the way down to here, to the end of R. I want you to Control C. I want you to come over here and right at the end of O, not after the color, before the color, I want you to backspace and I want you to Control V. The reason I want you to do this is because we're going to add some variables in now on W and R so that we can draw a world. Now, I want you to click back on over here to Hello by Functions, and I want you to pull out your calls for new line and then WORLO. And I want you to Control C, and I want you to come over here, and at the end of Hello, I want you to put in your new line and go ahead while you're there and give yourself an exit on click. That's all of the code you need from Hello by Functions, so you can close that puppy. Because now we're going to work in Hello by Variables and we're going to make things more variable and we're going to add some more cool stuff. So if you remember back to the first part of this assignment, every vertical line was a height and every horizontal line was a width. What I'd like us to do here is I'd like us to go down to world. Okay? Because what I want us to do is change those now. It just makes sense to keep going with what we already know. So go ahead and just start by taking a gander down here at the W. And you can see that the first thing we do is we're going to do a height. It's a forward 100. So we know that that's going to be a vertical. Go ahead and replace that with a height. And then over here, go ahead and replace this with a negative height. Now we've got a 25. This is a little tricky because it's a width, but it's a width divided by 2, which we haven't done yet. So copy your width. And in place of this 25, I want you to do width, space, slash for divided by, space 2. Here we go. We've got a couple more hundreds. So these are heights and negative heights. So you can just leave your negative there and just replace the 100 with height. It takes being a little, detail-oriented, a little creative. We got another 25, so we know that that's going to be width divided by 2. Boom. And we've got some more height in here. And some more negative height. That adds those variables into our code for the function draw W. Now, let's rock out the R. We've got 100. That's a height. We got a 50. That's not divided by 2. That's just a straight up width. Replace the width and replace the negative width. This guy right here, what do we think? Is he a width or a height? Oh, he's a line actually because we're drawing that R. So let's, instead of calling him a width, let's call him a negative height divided by 2. Because he is moving up and down the vertical, remember? We went halfway down the vertical. So he's actually a height, not a width. But this guy right here, he's a width. I guess I should call some of them she's, but I'm just using random gender delineations. All right, and again, this was up and down, the height. So we've got a height divided by 2 here. Don't take the negative. Just take the height divided by 2. And then we've got a negative height. Now you could totally type all of this in instead of copying and pasting like I'm doing. But I don't like typing it all in because, as you've seen, I'm prone to typos. So I copy and paste. I am going to save this as Hello by Variables assignment, underscore assignment. The reason I'm doing that is because you have to turn both of these in for your credit. Yes, it is. Let's try that again. Okay, apparently it does not like this name of this assignment. So let's call it hello variables assignment. You can call it whatever your computer will take. My computer is being cranky and not wanting to call it hello by variables assignment, so I'm okay with that. All right, now we're going to go up and make some things actually be variable. So scroll on back up to the top. We're going to add some more inputs here that our user gets to input. So if you remember before, we actually put in an amount here for this width. Let's not do that. Let's take all this out. We are going to make this be an integer. int stands for integer, and if you remember correctly from your math, integer is a number. What that integer is going to be, let's define out what that integer is going to be. We're going to tell the user to input. It's going to be user input, so we put the word input. And now we put a second parenthesis because this is going to be the prompt, what shows up on the screen. Let's tell it to enter a number, or you could say enter an integer for the number of pixels between letters. Okay, so now what we're doing, and I'm going to stretch this puppy out so you guys can see this a little better, is we are putting down the prompt here, colon space. This is exactly how the prompt is going to look. And we should do a double parenthesis at the end. Let me show you why. Our variable is an integer. The integer, so that's what this means. This parenthesis input means this integer will be input by the user. This parenthesis enter a number for the number of pixels between letters is what the user is going to see from the second parenthesis to the closed parenthesis. And this closed parenthesis is what closes off the command that this is going to be put in by the user. It's a lot of stuff. And what it means is the user is going to put in a number for how much space they want between the letters. We're going to do the same thing for the letter height and letter width. So take all this out. Letter height is going to be an integer. It's going to be an input integer from the user. And let's have it say, enter a number for the letter height in pixels. Let's put it that way. Colon, space, close quote, close parenthesis, double parenthesis. It's a lot of stuff. So enter a number for the number of pixels between letters, enter a number for the letter height in pixels. And you can replace this number with the word integer. It's whatever. Again, it's going to be an integer. And it's going to be input. Now we're on to the letter width. Enter a number for the letter width. In pixels. Colon, space, close, close. So I just kind of want you to take a real quick look here. The user is going to enter, the stuff in green is what the user is going to see. This is an exact thing what they're going to see. So if you typed in cow, sheep, pig, horse, dog, that's what the user would see. You could type that, wouldn't matter, but the difference is your user is going to say, I don't know what you mean, cow, sheep, pig, horse, dog. So you need to give your user a command. What do you want the user to do? This is telling the Python program that this is going to be input by the user, and it's telling the Python program what the user is going to input. They're going to input an integer. Okay. Now when I come down here, you'll notice that I set this up so that the letter height is going to be whatever the user tells it to be. That the space width is going to be whatever the user tells it to be. That the letter width is going to be whatever the user tells it to be. And that sometimes it's going to be the number that the user put in divided by 2. So now I've set this up so that my user gets to have actually kind of a lot of control over how this picture is going to look in the end. So let's just kind of take a scroll down. We've got all of our numbers replaced with heights and widths. We've got our draw spaces in there. We've got our draw new line. We've got our pen up and pen down and move turtle. Let's save. And we are going to run here in just a second, but because with all of this stuff it ends up making kind of a mess, I'm going to minimize that and I'm going to move this guy over. Enter a number for the number of pixels between letters. Now we've done it at 10, we've done it at 30. Let's go 25. I want to put 25 pixels between letters. Enter a number for the letter height. We've done 100. We've done, the other ones were 50. Let's do 65. Let's do 64. Make it even. Enter a number for the letter width. Let's do 32. Enter a color name. You know I like red. How thick do I want my pen? Last time I did 5. Let's do a 4 this time. Here it goes. All right. Here's my program. It wrote hello world. It made the letters be as big as I told them. It made my pen be the color I told it. It did everything I told it to do because I entered variables and I told the computer, let the user input what they want for their values. So again, variables are the name, the category. Values are the pieces that go into the category. And if you haven't already watched the video I uploaded kind of explaining variables and values a little bit like concretely, it's the dad showing the pictures, showing the toys and things. Do that so you understand them a little better. But that's how you use variables and values. Don't get rid of this stuff yet because we're not done. Exit on click. And I'm going to close the shell. I'm going to go back to my code and save. Close my code, and now I'm going to go back over here to Unit 4 because it's time to upload. These two pieces go into Unit 4. This is Unit 4, Assignment 1. Shift click, send to compressed. Okay? And if I open the compressed file, there they both are. Go over here. I don't want that one. I don't want that one. Here we are. Ha ha ha. And let me shrink my screen down. Hang on, I'm going to pause. Okay, I'm back. Through the magic of video, my screen is now smaller. I am going to go on over to my table of contents because I'm in Unit 4 now, variables. Unit 4 Assignment 1 is 4.08. Dropbox. Upload. Not those. My examples. Hello by variables assignment, the compressed version. Open. You can add comments if you want. Thank you, Mrs. Mac, Teacher of the Year. Eventually I'm going to run out of amazing things to say about myself. And submit. As always, I'm not going to submit because I don't want to grade my own. You have finished Unit 4 Assignment 1. Time to move on to Unit 4 Assignment 3. If you're on my revised plan. If you're not on my revised plan, go to the next place you need to be. Great job, guys!